Good afternoon, everyone. And welcome, Julien, from the New Murabba. If not using the word iconic in the Saudi context or in the Riyadh context is, I guess some people could say it's something of an expected term. But within New Murabba is the New Mukab, and within the infrastructure of Riyadh, New Murabba is a significant, if not one of the most significant infrastructural projects that is happening in Riyadh at the moment. So Julien, welcome.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to be with you. I'm thinking about the title of the session about storytelling, but in your greatest narrative, what is different about New Murabba?
I think before I answer the question, and I'd like to just start off with a very short video. And if the team could put the video of what New Murabba is about, it just lasts 60 seconds. It's very short.
It's beautiful.
But very to the point.
And it's a narrative.
Exactly. I think when we're saying storytelling, and for everybody, I will not distribute free tickets to go to the Mukab after the speech. But I think when we start about storytelling, what's very important is what is New Murabba? What is New Murabba? A lot of you have been today, and what are we bringing new to Riyadh, which is already a huge city, vibrant, with a lot of people, 8 million people. And I think a lot of you have been to Paris, for example, and if I ask you, what's the size of the inner road of Paris that you think about Paris, and it's actually 100 square kilometers. When you look at Riyadh, it's 1,500 square kilometers. Riyadh is 15 times bigger than Paris. Once you know that, you're like, first of all, it's an eye-opener how big the city is, but the reasoning of that size, it's very spread out. Everybody lives in a house, in a villa. So on our storytelling, what are we bringing new to Riyadh? It's actually, we're bringing density. Density meaning living not in a villa, but in an apartment. So the key element is you are bringing something new to the town where people will change the habit of how they live, living in apartments rather than villas. And then with apartments and density, you bring green space. Green space, you saw in the video, it's a with that, you bring a 15-minute community that you saw on the video. Why? Because today, this is the sustainable edge, is that Riyadh is a car-driven city. You have to go by car everywhere. So when you have density, apartment living, green space, a 15-minute community where you can find, your everyday needs, that's the story of New Murabba. And the cherry on the cake is we're building the Mukab, which means cube in Arabic, which will be one of the biggest and most complex buildings ever built by humans, by its size and by its content.
How do you define the narrative between the Mukab and particularly in the Riyadh context, a new way of living? How does that juxtaposition work?
So we're in New Murabba, we're a residential because we want to create a new downtown. So we're going to attract a lot of people to live there on a permanent basis. You know, our target is to have about 90,000 units or 300,000 people, 275,000 people, and they'll be living there on a permanent basis. The Mukaab is a legacy building that will be the marker of Riyadh for a long time to come, and come back. But it will be a place, because inside the Mukaab you have an entertainment destination. We saw it. It's another world, a gateway to another world. And therefore you're combining both a life and a zone where you are contributing to the Vision 2030 and promoting tourism where people will come and come again to spend some time in the Mukaab.
Julien, at the moment in Riyadh, as we know, there's Diriyah, King Salman Park, the incredible development of Kaft, Qiddiya, and now the new Murabba. How does that jigsaw puzzle work?
Well, I'm only working for New Murabba Development Company, so I'll tell you from our side of the fence. First of all, it's really a privilege to be on this stage speaking about New Murabba. But the reason we're here is that Riyadh is being activated. I like the word because the evolution of the city is immense. When you start the fantastic projects that you've just named, now King Salman, that was where the old airport was. That means that there is a new airport. That you have Diriyah. Diriyah is an extraordinary cultural environment that exists today already. You have Qiddiya, which is an entertainment city, which has no comparison, but it's also Expo. It's also the World Cup, and it's also everything Riyadh season, concerts, comedy shows. All of this city is being activated in a way that I've never seen before. Right. And our project, it's part of that activation, but it's also, our focus is a downtown residential, that other projects have a different angle. So we have a legacy building in the middle, but with a downtown, universities, people living, hospitals, etc.
And if we compare it to some of the other giga projects or the other projects that we were just mentioning, what the difference between New Murabba is you have a really strong residential component.
Yeah, our story, as we say, storytelling, is a new way of living. So that's really the critical element. And of course, we're going to do it, you know, in London or in Madrid. You know, they built their cities over centuries. We're doing it in a fast pace. So we're bringing all of the knowledge that has been accumulated in all the cities in the world and trying to build this new downtown with, you know, soft mobility, cycling, trams, a green space, everything in one go to make the life of the residents as easy as possible, and with a cherry on the cake of being the Mukaab.
And if we talk about the Mukaab, the hospitality element, as I understand it, will be contained within the Mukaab, and the revolutionary or the super futuristic perception of hotels that you're creating. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Because that will add another dimension to the whole.
So just a quick moment. The Mukaab is like is a cube. It covers an immersive dome that will be a very technologically developed, where people will be able to travel to another world. It's a gateway to another world through immersive screens, technology, holograms. People will be transported to other places, you know, the ocean, Serengeti, Jurassic Park, imaginary cities inside. Very immersive. And on the outside of the dome, so that's inside, but outside the dome, we will have hospitality assets. We're actually launching, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to say it, our operator search. We have 7 hotels there that will be basically welcoming people from all over the world with different positionings to be part of this experience.
And can you talk a little bit about the hotels that you're creating?
Well, we can. One of the guidance that we receive is that it's not going to be all luxury. That's one thing. So we'll have a large target audience from upper upscale to, of course, we have one hotel that is upper luxury.
Super.
But the reason why is that this hotel will be located on a rooftop, and this rooftop is 400 meters up in the air, and the size of the rooftop is 16 hectares. So being on that rooftop, it commands an incredible experience that we'll be able to offer through that positioning, yeah.
But do we not feel that, I mean, again, within the Riyadh context, to democratize New Murabba and to attract a wider section of Saudi society to come and live, how upscale does it really need to be? We're out of time.
So what we just talked about was the Mukaab. Our master plan, our development is 1,400 hectares, so 14 million square meters. And it is, the Mukaab is at the center, but all around it, you have a horizontal project, not very, where we bring the density, the green space. We have 350 hectares of green space. And there, you have another batch of hotels. We've got overall 30 hotels within the entire project, which will be developed over a long period of time, 7 in the Mukaab, and the rest all over. And the rest are going to be less technology, more traditional hospitality, more focus we have from mid-scale to luxury, but definitely even a larger group of target audience.
Superb.
Yeah.
I think we're out of time, so unfortunately, I'm dying to ask about the different brands. But
Thank
Julien,
you so much,
thank you very
David.
much.
Thank you very much for having me.